Hi everybody, welcome to another edition of Dave C's G.I. Joe commentary. This is about the 1986 Cobra Night Raven. The Night Raven was a stealth bomber jet, that had a detachable drone. And there's a box for it, Canadian box, has the French on it. And there's the actual plane there. I remember I got this thing, I think it was March 1986, and we were at a large mall close to me, and I was on March break, and me and my dad had some time there, and we were at the mall seeing a movie, and I can't remember what movie it was, but I know that throughout the 80s, my family and I, and sometimes just me and my dad, would go and watch movies at the mall there. Sometimes when my mom was there with my nana and my aunt, we'd pass the time by watching a movie. Movies like Fletch and Goonies, Indiana Jones, just all different types of great movies. Back to the Future, of course. And yeah, but anyway, I can't remember what movie it was, but it was in '86 on March break. And after the movie, my dad asked me if I wanted anything GI Joe, and that was kind of a dumb question, of course, because of course I did. I mean, I kind of plotted out every last dollar I could ever get as a kid, right down to the penny, to try to figure out who I wanted next, and what vehicle I wanted next. And I would just always go through the catalogs and kind of mark down who I wanted and who I had and who I didn't. So when he asked me that, I was like, yeah, I want a whole bunch of stuff, Dad. Like, of course. But anyway, I thought I was just going to get a figure, of course. So we were at the store, and then he said, what about this? And it was this jet. And of course I said yes, and he got it for me, because I think I got some good grades just before the break there, and he wanted that I could have something to play with during March break too. And I told him that I couldn't wait to get it home and then put it on the flag. So you can see it now, it's on the flag, kind of like back then. But yeah, anyway, so I was excited to get that, and it came with Strato Viper, who was the Cobra pilot for it. He's a little bit different than the Rattler's Wild Weasel. He was surgically changed to be able to handle high altitudes. It says that on his file card, and there he is there. I have four pilots, and yeah, I really like that figure. I liked putting him in the canopy here, and it was red. It was tinted red, so it was really awesome. It drops down at the bottom. You can see there, you put your finger up there and you pull it down, and there's a spot for two pilots that can go in it. And it's a pretty awesome jet. It's glossy, so it always looks brand new, really. Even if it's dusty, you just brush the dust off and it looks brand new. Had this cool machine gun on the back, I remember, for battles and stuff, if somebody was tailing him. And had four missiles on the back. You can see them there. And the drone was always cool. could pop a guy in there, and this drone was used later, a repaint for the 1989 Crusader, which was a GI Joe space shuttle. They removed the arm, the space arm, and they put this in there. That's kind of cool. But yeah, there's that canopy I was talking about. It goes down, and then cockpit, I guess they call it, and you can put two guys in there. Here's a look at the back of the box here. And a lot of the bigger vehicles, they had just a drawing on the back with limited color, like maybe just like a black or red ink. But an interesting thing about this one is that they still had the photograph of the vehicle, the prototype vehicle, on the back. And for larger vehicles, they sort of went with more of the basic ink usage and drawings around that time, 1986 onward. So this is kind of a neat one. One thing I sort of forgot to talk about was the bombs here that could be detracted. You pull that down there, and then there were two bombs in there that could be dropped. Here's a look at the landing gear, which had a neat mechanism you pull out, and they come down, and they're actually quite sturdy. It's made very well. Yeah, I really like this this jet. And another thing I was gonna show everybody is it came with this game that was included along with the instructions and the 1986 GI Joe catalog, toy catalog of all the other toys you could get. And this game here was a game that you had to figure out where a lost, stolen satellite was on Cobra Island. And if you could decrypt some messages and send it in properly, you get a special letter from Hawk. And I have a map of it down here. I'll show you. Just bring the camera down here. This is the map that came with it in the box. Here's a look at it here. This is the map for the code game that came also with the instructions and the other stuff you got in the box. And yeah, a lot of people sometimes they mistake this code game for being the board game. There was also a 1986 Live the Adventure G.I. Joe board game made by Milton Bradley that came out the same year. But this game was actually a promotional offer. Anything that had this on it would have this map inside, and it was a code game. And if you figured it out properly and mailed it in, you would have a chance at winning one of 10 USS flags, as well as a certificate of commendation by General Hawk. So I never participated in this game. I don't know if this was only for Americans, because I don't really remember this being in our boxes. Like, I do remember a separate Live the Adventure ad for the board game, but I don't know if we could take part in this, meaning people from other countries. But this is definitely a really neat contest that kids could take part in, and it added to the imagination of it all. Just having a map like this and imagining all the different places where the satellite could be hidden, and um, this kind of reminds me of um, back in '82 when my dad signed me up for the GI Joe fan club, and I got my dog tag, had my name on it, and I got a pin, and I chose Commando, so I had the Snake Eyes Uzi, um, and a few other things I got too. I think a couple posters, a poster with the Mobat, and kind of like the cover of Marvel GI Joe 1. They're all kind of jumping off the tank, and there's a big explosion behind the Mobat, but it was a poster that could go on your wall, and also a letter saying welcome to the team, and it just felt kind of cool that you know you were a part of something, and not just that you were buying the toys and reading comics, but that you know kind of that you were part of this team. So this is kind of another thing like that was really cool that came with the Night Raven, and I think I am remembering that I did this was in the Canadian packaging as well, because I remember seeing this. And I have another one of these up on the wall down here in the pit, and it's by my computer where I sit, and I enjoy looking at it sometimes, because this stuff they don't do this anymore for kids really, like mail away and flag points, and like for different types of toys. I mean, it's not really like it was back then. In the GI Joe manual here, the Mark Bellamo book, it says that it could reach Mach 3, which is a pretty fast stealth bomber fighter. And yeah, it looks like super sleek and just a really neat design. And I remember putting it on the flag, and I had it next to a Rattler. And as much as I liked the Rattler, this thing, it looked so much more modern, and just gave you the feeling that the Cobra Air Force kind of took it to the next level now. And I imagined all the battles I'd have with the Sky Striker, and later on I did, of course, with my cousin. He had the '83 Sky Striker, so I would take this over to his house, and we'd have battles, all kinds of air battles. My cousin Jonathan, and yeah, there's a really good comic about it. Just the aircraft. It's the GI Joe Special Missions, which is a 1986 comic book, number 5 for June that year, and there's a Night Raven right there on the cover. You can see taking out a Conquest. Well, I don't know if that's supposed to be a Conquest X-30. It looks like it's more like a Sky Striker. I think that's supposed to be Ace. So it looks like it knocked out a Sky Striker. But anyway, I really like this book, this particular book, because it has a kind of a real life take on it, like I often enjoy with the comic book. And first it introduces the aircraft, and then it introduces the pilot, and he acts like an arrogant jerk in front of the other Cobra Air Force people, the Rattler pilots and helicopter pilots and mechanics, and he kind of hot dogs away in the Night Raven, and just flip through here. This, of course, is a Larry Hama book, and he gets in a battle. It is a Sky Striker, you can see there, and looks like he takes out Ace, and then there's an X-30 there with Slipstream, so he gets in a battle with an X-30. But anyway, I guess kind of my point is that he ends up having problems with the aircraft, and he calls for help, and He's kind of on his way down, and these guys get the distress call. The Cobra guys that he was a jerk to, and they're kind of like, "Oh, okay, like it's that guy." And then it turns out that he goes down in the water, and then he goes to find his breakout tool that was supposed to be in there, and then he sees that it's gone. And those guys had told him earlier about the breakout tool, and he said he didn't need it because he's kind of too good or whatever. He had that attitude about it. So anyway, they go to rescue him, and then it turns out that one of the Cobra guys, Cobra mechanics, he actually had the tool with him. He actually took it out of that kit. So the guy was doomed to death because of that. So, and he just tosses the bar, so there's no evidence after. But I kind of like that one because it shows, it's just kind of, the moral is, don't act like a dick. Because if you're an arrogant dick, you don't know what's going to happen to you because people aren't going to respect you. And in this case, you know, he paid the price for that. And, you know, it wasn't a goofy ending in this one. It was pretty serious. So, yeah, that was a special missions one that ran 28 issues from 86 onward. I think it ended in 89, 88 or 89. But yeah, great issue if you don't have that one. If you're a Joe fan and you don't have many comic books, or if you don't have special missions even, make sure you get into those because they're really cool. But anyway, I guess that's kind of a look at the 86 Night Raven, kind of a quick look. Okay, so we'll catch you next time. Have a good day. Bye.
You're looking at Cobra's new supersonic jet, the Raven.
Cobra Raven, Cobra Raven. There's no haven from the Cobra Raven. 2 jet engines, a drop-down cockpit, a hidden bomb port. Now you know it's got twin rear guns and a one-man drone, and it's on the lookout for G.I. Joe. G.I. Joe.
Live the adventure of G.I. Joe. Cobra Raven comes with what you see here. Other figures sold separately.
G.I. Joe!